Hello and welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the match rundown for Everton 0, Spurs 3 that took place on Sunday. A disappointing game overall, which I'm going to go over today in this video, but to get into things, going into the game I thought we really needed a win. I've heard some people say that this is bad because it puts us closer to the relegation zone, blah blah blah. We're still 6 points off. I've still not got any sort of worries about relegation or anything of the sort, really. I think it's a bit premature to make that case still. You know, don't get me wrong, if it goes to 3 points all of a sudden I probably will feel a lot more nervous, and 6 points isn't as huge as a gap as maybe we'd like it to be, but at the end of the day, it's still a gap. It's still a decent gap to some absolutely terrible football teams as well. I just think we'll have to see, but it's really disappointing since I do think this game was winnable, and I think it showed it in the game as well. I think it was very disappointing. It's just I don't really know what else to say for going into the game, really. When it comes to the lineup, it's what to be expected, really. But what I will say is I don't understand how David Moyes persists with Beto. I said this in my video. I just think Tiano Bar is much better than him, and in the small cameo he did have, he was much better than Beto was, and Beto proved that by missing a good chance in the first 5 minutes of the game. But it's just what he does now, isn't it? He's objectively one of the worst strikers in the Premier League. Just objectively one of the worst. And I don't understand how you think Barry could be worse than that, you know, because even if Barry's one of the worst in the league, he's still on Beto's level. I don't think Barry's going to be the worst in the league by what you've shown, and that's the only level below Beto. You know, I like Beto. He had that really good run last season, but at the end of the day now, it's got to the point where I'm like, I can't sit and pretend this guy's better than what he is, which is absolutely terrible. So it's just one of those. Right at the start of the first half, Beto misses a sitter. I thought the lineup was okay. What to be expected, really, with our injuries, with Moyes' persistence on playing certain players. But it's what you expect, really. First half continued. I think it was pretty even, back and forth. I actually thought we were playing quite well. And then all of a sudden, they score from a Mickey van der Ven corner. We are actually the last team in the Premier League to somehow concede a set piece, which, you know, considering how terrible we've been defending set pieces this season, it shocks me that we are the last team to concede a set piece, but it happens. And then not long later, we get a corner of our own, swing it in, Jake O'Brien heads it in, there you go, 1-1, we're celebrating. But then, what happens? VAR, stroll on up, and take 3 minutes for a decision that I think is pretty simple. It's interesting because I can understand the reason of it being offside, but then the longer and longer it's gone on since the game, it's looked less and less like it was offside, and Daigo's to end up being behind Vicario when the corner is taken, which means it's not offside because he's behind the goalkeeper. And then it's just, again, my thing is, and I'm not trying to dig Arsenal here because at the end of the day they must do something right, but it's these teams like Arsenal who do this every corner without fail, and then when they score, it's never checked, it's never ruled out, it's never, and you know, I hate pulling the big team agenda. I don't like it. I don't think it's as prominent as some people think it is. But it's hard to deny it when stuff like this happens, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous. VAR really didn't help us. Craig Pawson, a terrible game as always, to be honest with you. And I think he proved that in the second half with what else should have been a penalty, where Kudus decided to rugby tackle Idrissa Gueye, but you know, it's just, a lot of games this season have been cost to us by the refs and VAR already. The Leeds game, the Man City game, you could argue. You know, it's getting stupid now to a point where you could say we'd be 6 or 7 points better if the referees could do their job properly, if VAR could do their job properly. I think it's those 6 or 7 points put us. Let me have a look here. Would put us bloody in towards the top six. In the top six, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not saying we've played good enough to be a top six team at all. Not even close. But I don't think we've played bad enough to be where we are. I think we're a cool mid-table, 10th, 11th, I think maybe. But I just think it shows up really. But yeah, that and then they get the second goal right before half time. Van der Ven again. It just kills the game out for us. And yeah, I think second half comes in. Again, it's just missed chance after missed chance after missed chance. And if you go on sites like FootMob and you look at the momentum charts, we absolutely dominate the second half. Spurs have a blip of momentum in the 57th minute and then do not get a single dot of momentum until the 89th minute, which is where Papsar scores. If that doesn't sum up how the team plays, it's ridiculous. There's no one in the team's clinical. No one in the team knows how to finish a chance off, and yeah, I think it's a bit silly. Moyes makes the substitution for Beto in the 66th minute, where Millen comes on and Tieno for Jake O'Brien, and then Tieno Barry comes on. I thought both subs looked really good. I thought, well, not really good. I thought Rowe looked good, Barry looked okay. But again, I don't know what people expect from Barry when he's being given cameos and he's not being given chance to start the game. And if he is given chance to start the game and he doesn't score in the first half, he gets subbed off no matter how well he plays. It's getting to the point now where he could have 2 goals at half time, and I'm convinced Moyes would sub him off Barry at half time. I don't understand what's going through Moyes' head. I don't really don't understand. But yeah, then it's just a tale of missed chances. Really, it's just over and over again, not being able to keep a solid defence, which is shown we haven't kept a clean sheet in 5 matches, which was our main bread and butter going into the season. And then another one, Carlos Alcaraz, Charlie comes on in the 86th minute, and he looks quite good again as well. And I think I'm. And then of course Papsar scores 89th minute, did it at full time. My overall thoughts on the game was I think we played nice football, but I think our lack of a striker or our have of a man called Beto has cost us once again. Because a decent striker probably will score that chance in the first 5 minutes, probably get another one in the second half, and then all of a sudden momentum is completely switched there. Spurs have to go for it. Can we catch them again? A good striker, and this could go from a 3-0 Spurs win to an Everton win, just like that. I genuinely think that's how bad Beto has been. I think he genuinely has a really good case for the worst striker in the league. I know Calvert-Lewin's been absolutely terrible at Leeds, but I still think he offers so much more than Beto does. But yeah, it's just I don't know what to say really. It's Sunderland next, but I think one thing that needs to be talked about is players like Barry, Alcaraz, Dibbling. There's 70 mil there with Barry and Dibbling, and they're not being given a chance. And then it starts to say to people, "Oh, well, you've wasted 70 mil." Well, no, I love Moyes, but the manager's wasting 70 mil. It's that simple. They're both very good players with very good potential, and I think they've both proven that in their previous stints. And I just think it's a case of the manager to realise that Beto can barely kick a football in a straight line, and with Dibbling, I understand that one a little bit more, but Dewsbury Hall's not playing well at all. Is it a thing where you move and die to the 10, play Dibbling on the right to give him some minutes to make him feel like he has a place in the team? I understand Dewsbury Hall's a big addition as well, but I think we actually have an array of attacking players to bring on and bring off. Dibbling, Roll, Alcaraz, McNeil. I know McNeil's probably gone in January, but if the players who are locked into the starting 11 by the look of it aren't playing well or on a big run, a run of bad games, not bad or disappointing games, Moyes should be able to put these other players in and go and create competition, but it's like he's scared of creating competition. and it's what's leading to the situation we're in now. Barry should be starting next game. If it's not looking good against Sunderland, players should be brought on early on into the second half, not in the 75th minute where they've barely got any time to make an impact. And I think it's that simple, really. I genuinely think it's that simple, and it baffles me how Moyes is struggling this much with what is really simple at the end of the day. I genuinely think non-league managers could figure this out. But I'm not saying Moyes is that level, obviously, but it's crazy to me how it's a stubbornness and unwillingness to change, and it's leading us to the point we're at now where, there's things saying that we're getting closer to relegation, which I don't think we'll be close to, and it shouldn't even be in the conversation, but we need to win against Sunderland. I know it's at the Stadium of Milan, they're very good, but now we've put ourselves in a position where we need to win, or there are going to be real conversations now, and I don't think anyone wants that. We thought this season were going to be better. By the start of it, it looked like it was going to. It's just turned into another typical Everton season, really. So, need to win against Sunderland to start to turn the form around, or there are going to be a lot of uncomfortable conversations being had in the fan base, and I can understand why. I probably won't agree with most of them, but I can completely understand why, though. But they are my thoughts on the game. Let me know what you thought on the game down in the comments below. Any changes you'd make to the starting 11? What do you think David Moyes should do? Should Tiano Barry be given starts? Should we be seeing more minutes from the like of Alcaraz and Dibbling? Let us know in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter at Everton Newsfeed. Follow myself on Twitter at Callum Brannan3. And I'll see you all for the next video and or live stream that I am on.